everybody, welcome to Bunky's Workshop, and I am Bunky, and today I'm bringing you something just a little bit different today. So, in one of my videos I was saying that I was having a couple of heart problems, and that I was going to be going in to have a procedure done, and, well, it has been done. This past Friday, which was October 1st, I did go in and have the procedure done. And I thought I'd come on here and let you know how it went, what they did, show you a couple of pictures of it, and hopefully that this will help some individuals out there that are dealing with this problem and will know what they look forward to, what to expect. And with me, I'm just going to be honest, I was scared. I was very nervous. I didn't know what to expect. And now that it's done, I'm just totally shocked. So I'm just going to walk you through it as fast as I can. I really don't want to waste too much of your time. I'm just going to give you as much as I can, okay? So basically, what happened is a couple of evenings, I would notice as I was sitting here in bed, reading a book or doing videos or whatever, watching some of you wonderful people out there like Hoover Lux and so forth, just vacuums and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I would notice that my heart would start pounding, and to me it felt like somebody was doing a tap dance in my heart and skipping beats and vibrating, and it just really was very uncomfortable. And then it would start racing really fast, and it just would bother me, but then it would go away, and I thought, well, that was just weird. Was that a panic attack? What was that? But this one particular evening, I was doing a binge, if you will, on YouTube videos, and it started again. Except this time, I really noticed it skipping beats. It would do 2 fast beats, and then stop, and then a couple more fast beats, and it was just like all over the place, and there was pressure. It really felt uncomfortable, and it was scary. I was like, am I having a heart attack? Is this a panic attack? What is going on here? So, Matthew, my husband, his dad had heart problems. So for Christmas last year, I bought him the Cardia pad. And I will throw in a link to that and a picture of it, what it does. And it connects to your phone.
Hello everybody, we're going to show you how the Cardia app works that Craig had used in order to determine he needed to go to the hospital. So you see that the Cardia app has a pad that you rest 2 fingers on, and you hook it up right next to your phone. When you turn your phone on, you're going to see that you have an app that connects to the Cardia app. And so that is already selected. So Craig is going to show you how to use the pads. So make sure they're right next to your phone, because it needs to be really close in order to get the signal. And then you select record my EKG. The next thing, you put your fingers on the pads, and it'll automatically pick up that you want to do an EKG, and it begins recording. You see that the EKG is being recorded on the app. You also see that it's taking your pulse or heart rate, currently at 73, 71 beats per minute. The middle gives you the time remaining, about 10 or 9 seconds remaining. You see that the EKG is being recorded and that you have great signal. So at the end of the recording, it gives you a sense of you have normal sinus rhythm, 70 beats per minute, and then you can push the screen over to see the duration of the EKG. So it's not just that one single frozen picture, but you can use your finger to slide back and forth to see the entire record of 30 seconds. It gives the opportunity to save each EKG, and there's also an a chance to sign up for a service to have a cardiologist review them. Craig is showing how you can save the EKGs on the app automatically, and it can also save them on your iPad and on your phone. Craig clicked on the history part of the menu, and you see that the EKG history is shown. So as we page down, you can see that there are many normal sinus rhythms, and then the tachycardia or fast heartbeat is in yellow. Green is good, yellow is a concern, and Craig's looking to find when he had that scary night with the atrial fibrillation. Another tachycardia, and going on, we are looking for possible atrial fibrillation. You see that is in red. And atrial fibrillation, as Craig explained, your heart has 4 chambers. The top 2 chambers, each of those is an atrium, and the bottom 2 chambers are the ventricles. You know that the heart beats through electrical impulses, and when there are too many impulses, then the top chambers of your heart, your atria, beat out of rhythm. So you can see how Craig was feeling strong heartbeats one after the other, lub dub lub dub, lub dub lub dub, like that, and knew something was very wrong. That's what the atrial fibrillation looks like. You can also see that it had 143 beats per minute, which was a very fast heart rate. I think we were both freaked out that evening, and so his pulse was racing. So you can use that, you can bring that into your clinician, you can show her or him the heart rates that you have or are concerned, or you can also mark them for clinical review, and then the cardiologist will look them over. So you can see Craig took his heart rate and his EKG over and over and over just to double, triple, quadruple check about that atrial fibrillation, because when something scary like that happens, it's hard to believe. So this pad, the 2 pads that you see, cost about $100. Money definitely well spent, especially if you, like me, have heart disease in the family, or if you're over a certain age, or what have you. Your heart is certainly an important vital organ, and to maintain its health is of utmost significance. You can get the app along with the pads, and that will be free. You can also pay $9 a month, $99 a year to have a cardiologist review your EKGs as well. So consider this. This is certainly money well spent.
And it's super easy to use, and it connects to cardiologists and so forth, and it's just a ton of information in this little packaged item here. So I got up out of bed and I went into the living room and I hooked this thing up, and I did it, and it immediately came up saying that I was tachycardia, and I'm like, no, that can't be, that's. So I figured, I'm just going to wait a few minutes and try this again later. I messed up, it messed up, I didn't know. So I waited a little while, and of course the pressure in my chest was continuing, and I was like, wow. So I took my blood pressure, and it was high, and I don't have high blood pressure. So that scared me. So I said, let me do the cardiogram again. So I went on there, and it came up exact same thing. And I had a heart rate of, I think it was like 180 something beats a minute. And it said, notify your doctor or go to your local emergency room. I was like, okay, something's wrong. So I woke Matthew up, and he's also an EMT. And I said, look, guy, I don't know what's going on, but check me out and put me through the ringer here. I checked my blood pressure, and yes, it was high. I did break a little bit of a sweat, but I think it was nerves because I was scared. And he did the cardiogram, and it said the same thing. And we went ahead and did a Zoom meeting with a cardiologist online. And immediately he said, you know, you need to call 911 and get to the hospital. Well, while I was on Zoom with the doctor, Matthew had already called 911 and they were banging on my door. And just to say how small of a world that we live in, the EMT who came through my door was also one of our friends, Ruth. And she came in and I was like, come on, Ruth, you know, I'm not that old, you know, I don't have any problems, you know, blah, blah. She said, let me be the judge of that. So they did all their things. And she said, I'm going to recommend, let's take you in. So they took me in. Through the emergency room we went. And of course, you have all these people around you and they're hooking you up to this, that, and the other thing and just asking a million and one questions at one time. But the whole time up on the monitor was saying it was perfectly fine. And, you know, of course, the whole time Matthew's like, no, I saw it myself. Here it is. Because when you do your cardiogram, it saves everything on your phone. So we were like, look, here's what it was doing. And they said, well, okay, we'll forward that to the doctor. And right then, all the doctors and nurses were at their stations typing fiercely, you know, putting in all the information and all the questions. And the EMT, Miss Ruth, said, okay, you know, Craig, we're going to go on about our way now. I hope everything turns out okay. And I thanked her. And right then, you know, her eyes popped open and she said, doctors, you want to look at the screen? And right then, I mean, what I was feeling in my chest was now up on the screen. And they immediately went into action. And they put nitroglycerin patch on my chest. And took care of me immediately. Right then, they took me up to a room and hooked me up to more wires, you know. And lo and behold, so approximately 4 days I stayed in the hospital, hooked up to machines and doing all kinds of blood tests, distress tests, you know, all kinds of things, echocardiogram, MRI, all kinds of stuff. And finally, I get to meet a couple of cardiologists. 3 of them came in my room, and each one of them said, this isn't something I can handle. You need to talk to an electrocardiologist. You're having an electrical problem in your heart. And I was like, what? So they all mentioned the same doctor's name, Dr. Saul. He's a specialist, and he'll come in later to speak with you, which he did. And he explained to me that I'm having, and I put this on my phone, and see if I can find it real quick. And where's my glasses? Put my glasses on. And they called it PVCs, P as in Paul, V as in Victor, C as in cat, PVCs, and PACs, P as in Paul, A as in Apple, C as in cat. And basically that's, you know, what they're saying is your heart all of a sudden starts racing for no reason, and it's skipping beats and extra beats. It's just having a ball all by itself. Having a party in my chest without even inviting me. And basically what's going on, the good news, this was going on in the top chambers of my heart, and not the bottom. They said if it was in the bottom part of your heart, that creates a lot more problems. But because it's in the top, this is an easy fix, not a worry. But basically, I had a couple of extra signals going through there, which was giving me extra beats and creating this fast rhythm, blah, blah, blah. And he says, you need to have a cardioablation. And I said, okay, what are my choices here? And he said, your choices are we can do medication to try to control this, or we can do the ablation. And I said, at the end of the day, I'm not that old. Let's find a way to fix the problem and move on. And he said, exactly. In my opinion, medications helps the symptoms but covers up a problem. An ablation fixes the problem. And he says, and you have a choice to make. I can send you home now with medication, and you can come back during like an outpatient way of doing this and do it then, or you can stay here in the hospital and I will try to fit you in between patients, and you might be here another day or two waiting because, you know, I am pretty booked up. Well, of course, nobody wants to stay in a hospital. The main reason was, I mean, the staff there was wonderful. We had a wonderful time in there. There, lots of humor and life stories, and Matthew and I did some counseling there, and it was just really nice there. The people were great. The weird thing was, it was all the staff but one were women, and they were all pregnant. So I don't know what's going on in that hospital, but they're all pregnant. But I came home, I'm not pregnant. So anyways, I decided I will go home and double check my decision and make an appointment and see the doctor from there. And looking back on it, I think I should have just went ahead and stayed and had the ablation then, because it took an extra month to get an appointment and get in there anyways. I should have just did it and got it over with. But anyway, so my appointment for the ablation was for October 1st, 7:45 a.m. So Matthew drives me in. They allow him to sign me in, check me in, the whole 9 yards, but told him he was not allowed to stay on the property because of COVID. He had to go home, and they would call him when I was ready for pickup if I was coming home that day. So he left. They immediately took me to my room. And of course, they put an IV in the left arm, IV in the right arm, and hooked me up to all these wires, and said, just sit, relax, watch TV, do whatever you got to do until your time comes. And they said the anesthesiologist would come in and speak with me, and people would be in and out just asking questions. I said, not a problem. So I was there maybe 30 minutes, and anesthesiologist came in, really nice guy, asked a few questions, and he says, how you feeling? I said, well, I'm fine, but I'm scared. You're working with my heart. And he's like, you're going to be just fine. Believe me, everything's going to be just fine. Do you have any other worries? And I said, well, the other thing is, I've had small procedures done before, and I normally don't react well with anesthesia. You know what I'm talking about. He said, what happens? I said, normally I wake up with a blasting headache and very upset stomach, so it's not pretty. And he was like, I got you, buddy. I got you. I've been doing this for years. You're not going to have a worry. And I said, you guys always say that, but you're never around for me to throw anything at you because I'm throwing up and I have a headache. And he says, I promise you, you will be fine. And I said, okay. He says, so we're running a little bit behind. There's a guy that's in the operating room now who's getting a pacemaker done, and that takes about an hour. And then they need time to clean and sanitize and do the room and whatever, and you'll be next. So sit back, relax. We're thinking about 10 a.m. I said, cool. About 10:30, they do come and get me, two really nice nurses. And they said, how are you doing? I said, I'm nervous and I'm scared. They're like, I know, nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about. And I said, you guys do this for a living. Me, laying here on this cold, nasty table, have never done this before. So it's scary. And they're like, yeah, we get you. We understand. But you know what? We got you. Don't worry. And the one nurse said, yeah, we got good drugs. You won't know nothing. So I went in, and there was so many people in this room. There was a glass room that I was looking at, and there was like 3 or 4 guys behind this glass wall, and they had all these computers and stuff. Then there was my doctor, and then there was 2 anesthesiologists and all these nurses. There's about 15 to 16 people in this room. And the next thing I know, I'm naked. I had on my hospital gown, gone. I don't know how they did it that quick, but gone. And I'm laying there naked as a jaybird in this freezing cold room. And they noticed immediately, because you have to shave. They gave me the choice, either I shave or they would do it for me. And I thought, they got enough to do. I can handle this. So I shaved my chest, and they go in through your groin area, and I shaved as best I could down there and cleaned everything up, make it look pretty. And the one nurse said, well, you skipped a spot. And I said, sorry. And next thing I know, out comes the shaver and, Edward Scissorhand. They're just having a ball. Again, I'm naked in front of all these people, freezing cold room, and the next thing I know, I feel some nice warmth on my butt. And I said, hey, And they're like, yeah, we warmed up the table. We turned on the table for you so you could warm up. We're going to give you some blankets and blah, blah, blah. She goes, do me a favor and lay down flat. And I laid flat. And that was it. I don't remember anything else. I guess they hit me with the drugs as I was laying down. I don't know. I was out. Next thing I remember is I'm hearing a whisper in my right ear saying, Craig, breathe. And it was so calm and sweet. All I heard was, Craig, breathe. So I thought I was breathing. And then I heard it again, Craig, breathe. I thought I was breathing, but I guess I wasn't, because then she said, Craig, deep breath now. And I guess I did, because she says, good, another one. And then it was quiet. And I slowly was waking up, and I realized I was in my room. And I was feeling fine. I mean, I noticed my mouth was very, very dry. My throat was sore. But that was it. And I was like really waiting for my stomach to say, all right, I need to upchuck. My stomach was fine. Everything was fine. And then I guess I fell asleep. But I remember I woke up again. I looked at the clock. It was in front of me. And it was about 1 o'clock. So, and then this nurse came in. How are you doing? I said, I'm fine. And she said, okay, you need to lay flat for about 2 hours. But we will be coming in about every 15, 20 minutes and checking on you. So, and they did. Every couple of minutes, they'd stop in. Same nurse. You know, how you doing? Doing fine. You know, just. And this whole time, I'm waiting for my stomach to do flips. Nothing. A little bit of a headache, sore throat. Fine. So after the 2 hours, she says, so here's what we're going to do. Every 15 minutes, we're going to come in and set you up a tiny bit and check your entry wound. And I said, cool. So she did. So for the next 2 hours, every 15 minutes, she would come in, and of course she laying flat, and then she laid you up, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more. So for 2 hours, at the end of that 2 hours, you're finally sitting up. So at that point, she says, would you like some ice chips? And I said, yes. She brought them in, and down they went. And then I thought that was a bad idea, because now it's going to come up. Still, no upset stomach. And she says, do you have to go potty or anything? And I said, I can try. Got up out of bed, not wobbly, no pain, no nothing. Went to the bathroom, came back, sat down. She said, are you hungry? And I says, well, I love to eat, but you think it's a good idea? She said, how do you feel? I said, I feel fine. So I ordered a chicken salad sandwich with some chips and a ginger ale and a glass of water. And I sat there watching TV, ate the whole thing, felt fine. And then she says, how you feeling? I said, I'm feeling quite fine. Are you sure they did anything to me? And she says, oh, yes, they did. They were from your groin all the way up into your heart for a while. And so, yeah, they did. And I said, okay, this is weird. So she says, give me a minute. And she went out. She came back. She goes, walk down the hall with me. Let's see how you're doing. So I walked up and down in the hall, no problem. And I said again to her, I said, are you sure that they did something to me? I says, because I'm not feeling anything. I said, did they numb the area? She said, they do numb the area for entry, but that only lasts approximately 2 hours or less. And that was done about 10:45 a.m. So I said, all right, put me back to bed. And I sat there watching TV for a while. She came back in and said, okay, the doctor says you're doing fine. You can go home. So I've called Matthew. He'll pick you up about 5 o'clock. So I got there at 7:45 a.m. and they released me at 5 p.m. I came home. All I had was a little bit of a headache and sore throat. You know, they do put the tubes down your throat while you're under. So my throat is sore. Still a little sore today. And today is Sunday. Now, I had the procedure Friday morning, and today is Sunday morning. So came home, went to bed, took 2 Tylenol because I had a little bit of a headache, fell asleep, woke up. Matthew gave me, of course, chicken noodle soup. And I laid here in bed watching TV, playing on YouTube, and the whole 9 yards, feeling good. And even my arms where they did the IVs, nothing, no bruising, no pain, no nothing, just these tiny little dots. And I was just shocked that I kept saying to Matthew, "Are you sure they did something to me?" And they said that since I had the procedure Friday, that I could have a shower Saturday and I could take off the bandages. I couldn't wait because I had to see, there had to be something, right? So I took my shower, and they forgot 2 pads on me. So I took those off. But I noticed that there's a big, it almost looks like, I don't want to say like a burn mark or whatever, but they put a huge pad on my chest and one on my back. It almost looks like a burn mark. It itches. And I went through all the paperwork of what they did, the comment section, and they did do a shock. They shocked my heart. So that's what those marks are from. Anyways, I took my shower and I saw the bandage in my groin area, and I said, "All right, let's see what happens." And all they said to me was, because they go in your groin area, in your main vein to your heart, and it's a lot of blood pressure there, that there's always a possibility of bleeding out. And that if there's any blood or whatever, immediately call 911, get to the doctor. So I gently took this bandage off and thinking, oh crap, if I bleed to death here in the shower. And but I took it off, no, still no pain, no nothing. And I look at it and I'm like, this is nothing. So I wash and I dry and I do everything, and all I can say was, not a big deal. It's not a big deal, except it's going to take a while, because there's places like on my leg, they had to put a patch on my left leg and they had to shave part of my leg. So I got a little bit of hair growing, I guess, to grow back. So that might be itchy. But I'll take the itchy over what I've had before with the nasty upset stomach. I had a hernia surgery done before, and that was miserable. Between the headache, the sore throat, the upset stomach, the pain of where they did the surgery. Oh, it was horrible. This was nothing. This was absolutely nothing. I'm shocked. I was shocked, literally. Anyway, so now they have me on medication, and the doctor wants to see me in 2 weeks, and he says if everything is going well, and I guess I need to backtrack. He did come into my room before I was released, and he said that they found the area in the heart that was these extra signals that was messing up my heartbeat, and it was racing. They found that area, and they go into your heart with these electrodes, and they cauterize that area to stop the extra signals. So they go through your groin, up into your heart. They find the area where there's these extra signals, right? They cauterize it to stop the extra signals so that you go back to a regular sinus rhythm. Pretty cool, huh? Anyways, he said, we immediately found the area. We cauterized the area. You're fine. You're fixed. It's a 98% chance fix. You're good. You're fine. I'll see you in 2 weeks. And after the 2 weeks, we will wean you off the medication. You'll be fine. I said, that's it. And he's like, that's it. Done. Have a good day. I thanked him on the way out. Made sure I thanked everybody in the staff, people. Whenever you go into the hospital, I know we're not on our best behavior. We're scared. We're sick. We're not feeling good. But these people work their butts off, you know. Always thank them. Make them know that they are the best. We always send them either flowers or some type of snack basket. We always say thank you in some way, shape, or form. But they were wonderful staff, very warm, very friendly. They took very good care of me. So any of you out there watching this that was in there, thank you. I do appreciate it. Anyways, but in here, I will be popping up some photos of my IV. the entry wound, just a little bit here and there, just to give you an idea what it looks like, what to expect. Now, they only went in my right side groin, and they did say there was a possibility they might have to go into the left, depending on what chamber or how they were going to do it. But they only went in one side. So I will show you a picture of what it looked like going in with my IVs, then coming out with IV. And then I do have a picture or two of the entry wound, and I will make sure all the other stuff is covered. You'll see nothing but the entry wound. Remember, it's your private area and then your leg, and it's in your groin area. So I will cover everything. You only get to see the entry wound, and it's nothing major. Anyway, that's basically it. This is Sunday morning. I am feeling great. No headache, throat still a little bit sore. The groin area, nothing major. I'm walking around. I'm doing everything normal. There's been nothing. So I'm feeling very good. And of course, I'm really alert about the heart, how it feels now. I haven't felt anything. Because when your heart isn't acting right, it's amazing what you feel. So when my heart was racing and jumping around and skipping beats and stuff like that, you get lightheaded, shortness of breath, a little sweaty. It's a really odd, horrible feeling. And on top of it, when that happens, of course, then you get nervous and scared, which makes it even worse. So, but it's just weird when you're sitting still like I am right now, and then all of a sudden your heart wants to go on a 20-mile run all by itself, and you're sitting here doing nothing. Your body's getting tired, you're getting sweat, and you can't breathe. It's like your heart thinks you're running a 20-mile run, and you're just sitting here. It's just the weirdest feeling. It's scary. If you're going from a heartbeat of 60 to 70, and all of a sudden it goes up to 200, it's just scary, and it's very uncomfortable. And the other part was when my heart was doing like beat, bump, 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 and then it would stop. And I'm like, please start. And it would start. It's just scary. You don't know, are you going to have a heart attack? You're going to have a stroke? You're just going to die? What's going to happen? But I'm still here, so it didn't happen. Anyways, again, I will be putting in some quick snapshots, little pictures of what I did or what they had did to me while I was in the hospital, just to show you. So any of you out there that are going to go through this or have been through it, if you've been through it, you know what I'm saying. If you're getting ready to go through it, it's not a big deal. Don't be scared. Let them do their job. It's okay. And if you have any questions or concerns or fears or whatever, put it down there in the comments section below, and I will do my best to answer them and maybe help hold your hand if I can, if you're going through this. Anyways, thank you so much for coming along. I do appreciate each and every one of you out there. I'm really loving this YouTube family. Lots of friendships are growing through this. I'm learning a lot with all kinds of stuff that I do out there. If any one of you watch my videos, you know it's a wacky stuff. One video is about the dogs, one video is about a vacuum cleaner, or a wash machine, a clock, a mixer. You don't know what's going to pop up on here, but that's what I like, is the variety. It doesn't have to be one thing, and that's it. But thanks for coming along. I am Bunky, and this is Bunky's Workshop. Thank all of you for watching my videos and signing in. If you can, think about subscribing. That would make my day, make my Sunday morning. Or even giving me that thumbs up. That's all it takes, is this thumb up. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say it, ring that bell so that each and every time I upload one of these videos, you will be notified. Okay? Thanks again. I'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye for now.